Hi, this is Mystery Box. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to give an analysis of a video on YouTube called Darren Brown Russian Scam, which if you haven't seen it, you'll want to watch it first. But basically I'm going to give my analysis of what I think is going on in the video. I just want to clarify that I don't know how Darren Brown did this exactly. I have an idea, and I'll describe that here, but I don't know that it's done this way. And I'm not an expert in these issues at all. I'm just going to describe some of the things that I'm aware of in terms of how this video works. I think this is a great video. And if it's being done the way I think it's being done, Darren Brown is quite a genius in notions of NLP and hypnosis. So let me start. I'm just going to comment on the video as it plays. Okay, right off the bat, there's a lot more going on here than it seems. Right off the bat, he's selected somebody, he's pointing and mirroring, the term in NLP is called mirroring, this person's stance, how he's pointing, trying to get rapport with the man's unconscious, which is going to be key at having the later hypnotic suggestions work. So you're going to see some pointing, which he's going to do with the guy, and then he's going to step away from the guy and see if the guy follows him, and that kind of points out that yes, this guy is at least in some rapport, and Darren Brown is able to lead him. I suspect if he didn't have that, if that test wasn't successful when he stepped away, having him follow, that he probably would have not tried this trick on him. Anyway, so let's continue it. So there's some pointing where he's mirroring. Now he steps away, and the guy does follow. There was a little statement there where he says, "You're happy to give me this." That's obviously a suggestion for what's going to come later, as well. It also helps build rapport. Okay, right here is probably the key thing. Once he's built a little rapport, he has the guy following him, he does what's called a pattern break, where he sticks out his hand to get the guy to shake his hand, although there's not a whole lot of reason for that. And what he does, if you watch, is he interrupts the handshake. He'll actually take the man's hand, and instead of shaking it, he'll put it in his left hand and hold it. So now he's holding his left hand. So he's aborted this handshake in mid-handshake. And a handshake is typically an unconscious thing that you do. You just do it without thinking about it. Your subconscious is doing it. And a pattern break is where you take someone that's in an unconscious pattern and you break it. And then the subconscious gets confused. And it looks within, the person's subconscious starts looking for, what do I do? And so he's in kind of this confused state where this is essentially a trance state. It's very, very brief, very short, but if you can take advantage of it here, you can start giving him suggestions. And you can see it's right here after he's done the handshake interrupt that he begins giving him the suggestions to have the man hand over his possessions. Also, he hands him a bottle, which I think is an anchor, where he's put the man in a trance state by aborting the handshake. He's anchoring this trance state by giving him this bottle. It also probably helps distract him and confuse him. And later in the video, where you see him again trick the man, he doesn't go through the handshake and all that. He gives him the bottle again. That recalls the anchor and puts the man back in a trance state. That's the point of the anchors. So let's watch him finish the handshake interrupt here. So now the man's in trance state, and he's just giving him suggestions. Give me your stuff.
Cheers. So just grab your phone as well on your house keys. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right, so it's just literally just down there. Yeah. Right there. Right there. So straight down there, and he's going on the left-hand side as you go further down the road. All right, lovely. Thanks ever so much. Cheers, mate. Thank you.
And he shakes his hand and says, "You're fine." That probably takes him out of the hypnotic state, gets him back to normal. Man walks off, figures out later that something funny is going on, and how did that happen? At the very end, you'll see him again do the exact same trick. He doesn't have to go through all the initial pacing and setup or even the pattern interrupt, because he's already anchored the trance state with the bottle. So what we'll do is hand him the bottle and then immediately take advantage of the trance state the man enters by giving him the suggestions again to give him his stuff again.
Until I got a few yards down the road, and then I started to think, what's happening here?
Just hold that a second. Cheers. Right, I'll just grab the other crack off you so I can keep them. Cheers. Thanks ever so much.
Yeah, so hand him the bottle and
Thank you. Cheers. I think you're heading that way. Thanks ever so much.
genius. This is genius. Anyway, that's it. If you were curious about this kind of stuff, a lot of the terms I used, NLP, handshake, induction, pattern interrupt, pacing, mirroring, all these things are on the web if you do Google searches. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, like I am, you might write me and say hi. Anyway, thanks.